Hello, everybody. My name is Dan Olson, and I'm the CEO of Hook Hand Rum. And today I'm here to present to you a presentation about our regulation crowdfunding offering on Netcapital, which is it's a stock offering where people can go in and buy equity into a company as a regular consumer. So it's not a high level of accreditations or things like that. So it's really made for our consumers and for fun and for people to be able to be a part of us. So I'd like to tell you about that. Today I'm going to present a presentation that gives you 6 reasons why we feel we're a great investment for you. And then in the end, I'm going to give you a little bit of an instruction on how to navigate the Netcapital platform. So I'm going to share my screen now with you guys, and let's go ahead and get started. We'll do slideshow, and we'll then clean up my stuff so I can see the presentation. And so we are Hook Hand Rum. Again, my name is Dan Olson. I'm the CEO. And today I want to just give you some really good, 6 strong reasons why we're a good investment. But first, let me start off and just say, in today's climate, the consumer is changing their relationship with alcohol, especially as you skew younger. Consumers are seeking more of an experience. They're not just going drinking. They want to go with friends. What they drink needs to be interesting. They want craft cocktails. And so it's really more of an engagement and an in-depth experience than it is just to go drinking. And this has always been kind of the success of any spirit brand, is to have a strong brand, but even more so now, it's be able to create an experience that emotionally connects with people. Because when people go to the bars, they basically order what it says about them, right? If am I sophisticated? Am I fun? Am I kind of crazy? What am I doing? Am I knowledgeable? So people need to connect with the brand that they order. And so that's why we have built this brand around a very human part of an emotional connection, which are stories that we share with each other. And that's why we are positioned as where tales are born. So the first reason I want to talk to you about why we think we're a great investment is it's the product, right? So it needs to be something different. It needs to be something new and something that people will want to be a part of. So we've created a blood orange flavored rum, and we flavor it with blood orange and Madagascar vanilla. We source the rum from Puerto Rico. We bring it to the U.S. We age it on oak, and then we flavor it and bottle it here. So it's a U.S. product, but it's the orange and the vanilla create a super approachable spirit. It's smooth. It's very, very drinkable, and it's delicious, to be quite honest with you. And we have poured for over 10,000 people promotionally here in Southern California, and I have never in my career seen a product get approved of like this. And it really addresses this whole desire of the consumer to drink less and enjoy more. We also have a brand, a strong brand that's built around stories. Like I said, and this story is about a pirate named Bartholomew Scott. And so he will never be seen or heard or talked or personified. You will only know him through stories. And so one of the first stories is he only stole rum. He never stole jewels or gold. And there's a story behind that. He also had an alias, Hook Hand, but he had both hands, as the rumor has it. And he flavored all the rum he stole to market as his so he could recognize it and know it was the best. Blood orange was his favorite. And we don't know whether it was the love of a woman or the love of Majorca, but we know it was a deep, passionate reason for why he picked blood orange. And we will start to share these stories and offer experiences that are tale-worthy, because after all, we are where tales are born. Second reason is it's a great time for rum. U.S. rum consumption is growing, and the growth is going to be in bars, on premise, and in restaurants, with a forecasted 58% growth by 2027. This chart here shows you where that's occurring in the golden part of those bars. And really, just to give you a quick idea of what premiumization is all about. Premiumization is when consumers start demanding a product. And in spirits, you have a national distribution of the big volume spirits that are lower cost and they're well drinks and all that stuff. Then you have super high-end, expensive spirits, and the regional and local stuff is really hard to get at from a national scale. So with this increase in demand and desire, it starts drawing up these niche and local brands and regional brands into the main theater. And these are all going to be 40, 50, 60, $70 bottles of rum. And so that's what's happening. It's happened in vodka, it happened in whiskey, it happened in bourbon, it happened in tequila and gin, and it's going on in rum right now. And it started in Europe, it went to the UK, it's now going gangbusters in Florida, and it is happening in California as well, or starting in California as well. Press all over the place is talking about where, you know, rum is on a path for premiumization. It's building momentum. It's what the brands that are doing this now, the spiced and the flavored ones, are the bright outlook for the segment. So we're real pleased, and we hope to be able to ride this wave of success. Third reason is a strong leadership team. We are building a marketing company here. So I'll explain more about how we're constructed as a company and how we work. But to know it, that we are a marketing company, so our success is going to lie in our ability to build that brand, to sell that product, and to market it to the consumer. So my co-founder, my son, and I are both out of marketing. I was the ex-CEO for managed the Western region for Young and Rubicam and Wonderman, and I've had the luxury and the privilege of being able to work with some of the best CMOs in the world, and from the best brands in the world. And so I have strong P&L. I had a 700-person agency, so I know how to manage P&Ls. I had multiple P&Ls. I had multiple states. I have forecasting, working for a publicly traded organization. You know, forecasting is your lifeblood, and I have budgeting skills. I also have a subject matter expertise in loyalty and membership marketing, and that will show why that works later. Andrew comes from his beginnings as a bartender when he was in college, but he understands what that dynamic is there between the bartender and the consumer, and their need to have information and how that works for the bartender. He's also in media. He works for Infileon as a SVP for the Midwest and Western regions. He manages his clients there, and Infileon is a company that uses what we call media tech. They use mobile device signals, location, behavior, search, all these things that they can start to pull together to target people down to a one-to-one in a geographic location. We intend to bring this strength into Hook Hand Rum as we go forward. Fourth reason is our solid business plan. We built a model that is really designed for growth, and we just wanted to be able to not have to worry about trying to build a distillery, build warehousing, lease big properties, do all that and spend our investor money doing that stuff. We wanted to get investment that helps us grow the company and make it go to market and build sales. So we are partnering with BuzzBox as our blender. They're out in Palm Springs. That's all they do. They're great at it, and they do a great job. We have Green Glass Global as our sales and strategy, and Park Street as our distributor. A little bit more about that is that this is a non-traditional approach. Normally, a spirit company goes out and they sell to a distributor a couple pallets or a truckload or whatever they sell. Then the distributor then has their salespeople go out and try to sell it in, and that can be hard for a small single SKU company and product, because they charge you for advertising, for slot fees, for spiffing, for warehouse storage, and all that stuff, and it becomes overwhelming in cost for a single SKU product to be able to succeed. So these guys, a couple guys came out of McKinsey and started Park Street, and they're taking a non-traditional approach where they basically say, we'll provide all the things you need except for sales. We'll give you warehousing, we'll give you management, we'll give you compliance, we'll give you invoicing, give you last mile delivery, you do your own sales staff. So that gives us such a leg up, and we only pay for what we need when we need it. So even though we have guaranteed distribution in California, Florida, New York, and New Jersey, we're only paying for California and Florida now because we're not in New York and New Jersey yet. We have opened up those markets. So it just gives us the ability to grow and to scale without having to have carry a lot of sunk costs. In our market, we took a kind of a different approach to this. We took a marketer's approach. We looked at dividing the country up into what are called designated marketing areas. These are media markets. So we know how we can buy TV, radio, print, all of that, even display on digital, so that we can actively know that we can get to the market we want to and hit those people. These things are loaded with demographic information and behavioral information, so it helps us to be able to do a good job. So we've set up our TAM, our SAM, and our SOM against these. So the total United States accessible market is $2.8 billion. It is 340 million people. Our objective is to get to 0.05% of this substantial market in the next 5 years. Our SAM is those colored little sections that you see on your screen there. Those are our targeted designated marketing areas. That's 50% of the US rum consumption and 150 million in population. And our SOM is those in California, New York, New Jersey, and Florida that we intend to begin and build our real entrance into the marketplace with. And that has 127 million people and 28.2 thousand points of distribution. I had a typo there, apologize for that. So in order to be able to know and have a working plan, we built a forecast. So we joined up with Green Glass Global and we got advisors off our board. We sat down and we broke out sales territories across the United States and all of our DMAs and how could we get in. And we looked at how many bars were there, how many restaurants were there, how many liquor stores, how many grocery stores. And then we broke it into only what are those that fall inside the DMA and not in the peripheral rural areas. So then we wanted to build two market metrics that we wanted to look at. Market penetration was the first one, depletion was the second one. So we looked at market penetration and said, what can we expect to sell into? So you can see our numbers are kind of conservative because these are annual numbers. 25 bars, 21 restaurants, 106 liquor stores, 28 grocery stores per salesperson per territory. And it goes on down the line. And so you can see that we are about 936 stores in California in our first year. The second metric is depletion at retail. This is our most important metric because if we don't deplete and we don't sell off the shelf, they won't buy again and we won't get invited back in and we won't get to come around again. So we had to really make sure that we looked at this and say, what can we really do? So we kind of came up with our conventional wisdom of 6 average cases per year. And that's what we took. And we brought that we had a meeting with Gallo Spirits Division and we asked them to review it and look at it and give us a feedback. And their measures of success for companies that they would like to acquire, they like them to achieve 300 to 400 doors in 6 months and 9 to 1,000 doors in 1 year. That's given that they're funded and everything goes in their direction. So they were super complimentary. They gave us a big vote of approval. We are on their watch list. They're paying attention to us now, and we're super pleased with the fact that we have a real viable forecast to follow. But we want to see how we were also hitting that. So we have been selling in for about a year, and that's been myself and my co-founder have been selling in with our original crew, managing director John, looking at 25 to 30 locations in Southern California. We just got our sales staff with Green Glass Global started in January 2025. So it's really too early for that to be impacting the numbers. But the numbers we have gotten across the board on an average of just organic sales has been a half a case on premise per month and a half case off premise per month. On premise is bars and restaurants, off premise is retail locations. And we've had 2 cases per month online average in our online e-commerce, which is on our own website. This was fantastic news. It means that we have a pace of 6,000 cases, which exceeds our forecast if we get full funding. So we will prove up that our forecast is a good baseline and we anticipate to beat these metrics. So that is fantastic. And it means that everything that we forecast and we think we can do is doable at the organic level. People ask us, who do we compete with? And what do we think will sit on the shelf? Well, as I told you in the premiumization of rum, it would be bringing up these regional and niche products. And so which are going to be more premium and going to be more high priced. So it will fill in that middle gap in the rum world. Our price point at retail is $59.99, so we'll be classified as a premium spirit. We will be positioned on the shelf right alongside these other premium brands. And rum buyers tend to buy on brand and taste. They're not really specifically price sensitive, so we feel good about that. And we deliver huge on the brand and huge on the taste. We stand out with our bottle design, so we feel really confident that we will compete well on shelves. Fifth reason that we have is the original crew. This is what I was talking about with our experience in loyalty and premium. This is creating a strong fan base. It's our secret weapon. We will have 3 tiers of adventure in the original crew. The first one is the Navigators, and that's a coin, and it goes after a story that Bartholomew Scott gave all of his crew members a coin for safe passage, access to him, and just special favors that they could get from Bartholomew. So we followed along that same story. You can buy this coin for $1,000 and receive a lifetime membership, and you get access to events as a VIP. You get gifts, you get discounts, you get adventures. There are 2 levels beneath that. There's First Mates for an annual fee of $240 and Swabbies as an entry level at $120. First Mates is kind of the same as Navigators, just much less. And Swabies is kind of our entry level tier that gives you community access discounts and maybe a chance at an adventure in your lifetime. So, but what the really cool thing here about this at the maturity, this program will generate 20% of the company's revenue. And I can't tell you how much that will help a small startup to be able to have stability, to fund growth, to fund marketing, and things like that. We'll have a portal where the members can come in and they can RSVP for adventures. They can get their gifts. They can get their discounts. They can get news. And so what this whole thing, it helps with the benefits adventures. It gives a newsworthy story. It brings it up as an interesting thing because no other spirit company is doing it like this at all. It brings in incremental revenue and it brings a strong fan base to the company. So here's the offer. Equity and membership together, a special investment incentive. So a limited time, any investor who invests $1,000 or more with Hook Hand Drum with Netcapital, we will give the investor a gift of a lifetime membership as a navigator in Original Coup. We will give you your coin and you will have it for life. And this is the highest level of membership and it never goes away. We are seeking to have 100 people invest 1,000 and receive this gift. So let's do this. Let's get 100 people in. Let's kickstart Original Crew off. Let's get some fun going and let's get the 100 people in as investors. So that's our offer. If the sixth reason is that what every investor wants to hear is that how are we going to, what's our exit plan, right? How is it a strong exit plan? So rum acquisitions are growing. The buyers are seeking to expand portfolios. In 23 is a big year. Brown-Forman acquired Diplomatico Rum for $725 million. Diageo acquired Dom Pappas for a combined $460 million, and InvestBev invested into 10-1. So these are big investments in rum, which hadn't been happening a lot before that. The acquisition landscape is also growing. There's more investment coming in from new sources. There's always going to be the traditional holding companies. As these companies want to change their portfolios out, get more profitable, get more new, get more trendy, that they're always going to be a strong play in doing that. But wineries and breweries are entering the market because they're in a saturated market. Wine and beer is struggling a little bit, and they want to seek ways to diversify their holdings into spirits so they can broaden out. They're great buyers. Incubators, they're looking to get startups and into their incubation, but they also are looking to create investment funds so that they can play in the game of building portfolios that they can build and then sell and grow. And then there's venture capital and private equity. We in order to help us with our exit plan, we've also started our relationships with 4 or 5 companies who could acquire us. Gallo Spirits is one of them. And we went in, we talked to them, we told them what we're doing, and they know who we are. They're following us. They keep an eye on us. They read our emails and they come to events. And so we're working really hard as we're just getting started to keep that eye on that down the road to how do we get acquired. Our projections show that with funding, we'll start with sales. And the reason you see a little bit of a hockey stick there is because every year we open up new markets. So it's continual expansion. So any sales 100% more than you had before in a new market. So we break even in year 4, we make profitability by year 5. So there's 2 asks here. The first ask, the one main ask here as I'm talking about is the regulation CF. That's a crowdfunding equity offering. It's offered on our Netcapital platform. It has a minimum investment of $100, but any investment of 1,000 or more receives lifetime membership on Original Crew. But we also have some leftover open spots on our friends and family. If you are an accredited investor, it's a convertible note that discounts at 50%. So whatever you give us on a note doubles that in its investment amount. It has a 6-year interest and it's a 3-year maturity. It converts at the end of the seed round automatically. It has an additional 10% warrant at conversion, and it is only for accredited investors at $25,000 minimum. And there's $150,000 open that if you would like to be a part of that, just email me at dan@hookhandrum.com. Put in there, I want to be a part of Friends and Family, and we will talk to you. We're going to use the fund basically to do 3 things: make more rum, hire key staff, and market and run the company. So it's a very, very simple recipe for what we need to use the money for. So if you're interested in going and you want to try out to invest in Netcapital, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a guideline on how to do this. So you want to go to netcapital.com and you will see this page, right? And you want to click the Get Started button, and this will create a process for you to create a profile in Netcapital as one of the investors. So it will bring you to this page, and it starts to ask you questions like your name, your email, your phone number, and it's going to give you a series of dialog boxes asking information from you. This is required for your safety. This is a Security and Exchange Commission regulated fundraising effort. And so it is good that they know who you are and they know that there's no fraud, and this protects you. So there are a few questions, but just hang with it and it will go quick. And when you get done, you will have your profile and then you're ready to go to the next step. So once you get your profile, go back to the main page and there will be an invest button at the top of the menu right next to the Netcapital logo. And you click that and that will give you a search bar and a bunch of companies beneath it. Just type in Hook Hand Rum. It will bring up this page that you're looking at right here. This is our invest page. So you want to click on the invest page button on our page, and it will then ask you to do two more things. Number one, designate a payment method. You get ACH and credit card. Probably recommend credit card. It's easier than going through the ACH process, especially on small amounts. Designating the amount you want to invest is the next thing you do, and then you click boom, commit to that. And congratulations, you are an investor, and they will let us know if you're a $1,000 investor. We will connect with you, and we will immediately enroll you in Original Crew and send you your coin. So I thank you all for taking the time to be with us here today. And if you want to contact me directly, you can contact me at dan@hookhandrum.com. You can text or call me at 949-300-3756. I'd love to talk to you and answer any questions you may have and share more information about us as a company. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for spending the time with us today. So we will talk to you soon.